Hello, welcome back to the grind. Here I am, the Doors episode 2 of the Doors, I guess, eh? Anyhow, it was looking pretty sad when I dropped it off after the last video. It wasn't looking very promising at all, but there it is now, and I've got 2 coats of primer on that, just the trim-clad Rust-Oleum primer stuff, which to protect it for a while. I'm done with doing doors for a while. I'm not going to do that other door until such time as I get over this one. A lot of work in the door, but it was looking pretty bad when I started it. Like when I left off last week, it was looking pretty sad, but it came together, and it looks like it's going to be, like, it's good. I like the finish, and I'm happy with it. I can live with that door. So stick around, see everything I did, and hope you enjoy it all. And make sure to like and subscribe, and tell your friends. Come on back for more. See you, bye. Yeah, here we are back again. A little bit of a late start today. Another 10 centimeters of snow or something like that on everything. Those solar panels won't be getting much solar with that snow on them, but one of these days that'll melt off. Anyway, here's yeah, a little bit of snow. Anyway, back onto this door here. Now yesterday I did get this flattened out to fairly well, and it's not pancaking anymore or doing whatever you call that stuff. So now, how do I get this to work? I can go and do it. I'll put in this little piece here, and then I'll be able to slide this thing underneath there, or I'll slide something underneath there to pound it out straight. And first though, I think there's a little bit of a little dip right there, so I'm gonna do a bit of shrinking right there. And shrinking is just with, the only way I do shrinking is with heat. To put some heat to it, and then hit it with, well, I hit it with snow, which is plentiful here. But there's like a little dip right there, and I think it just needs a bit of shrinking. And a little dip right there, so maybe I'll take that area there and try and shrink it, and then I'll see if I can beat it into submission. But it's an awful lot better than it was, and in fact I think it's pretty near okay. Anything else I can fill with a little like a skim of Bondo, but I want to see if I can get this to come up a bit with shrinking it. Then that should bring the panel back to nearly what it was originally, and after that I'll start welding again on this and see if the heat will stay out of it. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, this panel is mostly flat now. There's a couple of little bumps right in here, but that's fillable, no problem. Down here there's a whoop right there. I'll deal with that later. First I'm going to see if I can get this put back together. Now I don't know what I'll do here. I might put a little piece underneath there, a little bit wider, and just lap weld onto it. That'll give it a little bit of support instead of just squeezing it together. We'll just give that a try and see what happens. You never know. So at the very worst, once I get completely frustrated with metal, I can always put a fiberglass patch on it. This part here, the bottom of the door is good in metal, and if I had to put a fiberglass patch here, what I could do is get the other door off, use it for a mold, make a patch, and then put it on here, so it'd be a patch about this, you know, out to here and out to here sort of thing, or down to here somewhere, and that would cover all of that. And it's not a structure piece. The structure's right there, so it would be okay, but I'd sooner have it metal if I can. So we'll just see what I can do. Yeah, so there now, I've got this sort of straightened out pretty good, this panel up here. and I've put in that first piece. It's lap welded. I'll have to let that cool off now and give it another round. Make sure that everything is touching, but it's going over a 1/4 inch. There's supposed to be sort of a crease along here, sort of, but it's been, you know, bashed out of the machine over the years, I think. Anyhow, but we'll see if we can get it back into the machine. I might run the lap up to here, and then I can sort of bend it over on that angle. That might be a good idea. And I've got the old piece of metal that came out of there, so I'll drill that hole. That'll give me a starter hole. And I've got this hole here, so the only one I have to guess at is this one here, which is not too bad at guessing because I've got that sort of got that piece. Anyhow, we'll see. So that piece went in all right without any real. There's a little bit of a whoop right there, but that was another one that I missed that when I was straightening things out. But it's not so deep that I can't fix it with a bit of product. So that one I can handle. Now I'll see if I can get this piece in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to butt weld it down here at the bottom, butt weld it on the side, butt weld it on the side, and I've got it overlapped right to that lip there. So somehow I'm going to get it up and make that little bend in there come to the flatness of this. But first I'll get it welded or tacked in here, all along to my satisfaction. Then I'll go ahead and start working on the metal. Yeah, I might get it resurrected. That's like it's wavy, right? But I'll be able to fix that with a little bit of product. So this is butt welded down here, and I think that'll work just fine down here and along here. This is the transition between the butt and the other thing. So that'll take some Bondo along there, but it was thick on Bondo before, so it won't be as thick this time, but it will have Bondo. Oh well. I'll see if I can make it look good, and then if it looks good, that'll be good. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't have to resort to fiberglass. I think I can get it done with the metal. Anyhow, there's one hole there. There's got to be a hole here somewhere. And then the rest of them. So these patches I will finish putting in. That there, I'll have to see how I can get that pulled out. There's another bit right here, like that. Got a bit of oil can to it there. See what I can do. Once I get this all in, then I'll see about straightening this out somehow or other. Then over here I still have to cut this out of here to get a new piece in, which I will do carefully. Okay, so I'll persevere. Yeah, there, it's all welded back together. And I put the holes in it for the trim bits. Now, I have to bend these edges over. Those two edges, bend them over. And then seal this edge at the bottom. Then, but first I'll, like it's got some, it's not really that bad, but it's got some oil can up here, but you can't pick it up on the camera very well, but I don't know if you can see that. It's got the wave to it. And there's places where there's a real dip here. So it's going to be a Bondo Queen eventually, but I'll see what I can get out of it. Right there, if I heat this up, that might shrink that and make it so it does an oil can. And same thing here, heat that right up there. This is where that big bash was in it, right here. Now, I've decided that butt welding is better than lap welding on this kind of stuff. But it doesn't really, like, it's all the same. It warps everything. Whenever you're working on a big panel, it's gonna warp, and unless you take the skin off and pound it in submission, that's all. That's as well. I don't know. I've seen Fitzy do it, and he's able to get it to work, but I'm just not that good. Anyway, alrighty, well, I'll carry on. We'll see how it looks when I get done with it. Yeah, so I've been doing some shrinking. Just like I make this area hot, mostly in the center, and then put snow on it. I've got a little thing here that I use for putting snow on it. I wonder what I did with it. Put it somewhere special, I guess, as usual. And then, like, there's a high spot here, a high spot here, and there was a high spot here, but now there's a dip there. But I'll live with the dip. And that shrunk that down. So this part here, like, there's a low spot in here. I don't know if I can do anything about that. Like, I could try and pull it up, put a hole in it, and then try and pull it up, but I think I'd be making more of a mess. And right here, here's the problem right here. It was bent, like there was a dent right there. So I think I'm going to have to go with the... I don't think I can get much better with the shrinking business. And I can't really get into behind there. There's one spot. Well, I can't even get in there. No, can't get in behind there to straighten that out. So I'm going to put metal to metal stuff on all the welds. Let that set up, and then I'll just start doing some body work on it and see if I can make it look okay. There'll be a bit of Bondo in here, a little bit of Bondo in here, a little bit of Bondo in there. So like it goes like this all the way along. And so I'll see if I can get that sorted out. Yeah, so now what did I do? Took the hammer and the dolly and flattened this out. I wonder what it looks like on the other side. We'll check it out in a minute. But I just held that there with the hammer on the top. And a hammer on here. No hammer on that side because that gets it all full of hammer marks, right? So no hammer on the outside. And then I folded over these things here. They actually, this one here came out poor, but I'll fix that up a bit. Because I got to fix it up a bit right here too. Okay, I can do that. Anyway, that'll be later. Now I'm going to turn it over and put on the product, the Evercoat stuff. That stuff there. And I went over the whole thing with the orbital sander with 60 grit on it, so it gets something for the Bondo to stick to, or anything you want on there. It's got a little bit of texture to it that can stick better. So I'll just put that Evercoat stuff on all of these, whatever you call these things, welds, right along here, along there, along there, along here, blah blah blah. Then I'll let that harden up, and then tomorrow I'll see about doing Bondo work on it. And I'm going to see if I can make this a finished as far as body work goes, the door, because it's really not as bad as it could be. Like, there's a hook there and a hook there, and there's no more oil can. Like, the oil can went out when I did the shrinking, so that's good. This thing here was one of my bigger concerns right there. It was a big whoop, and it's gone. Right here, I wonder if I should heat that and bring it down a bit, if I can. I already did heat that once. Maybe I better leave well enough alone and work around it. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna start with the Evercoat stuff. This has got metal. It's metal embedded. Like, I think there's aluminum or something in it, and it's waterproof. Makes the welds waterproof. Fills any pinholes and makes the welds waterproof, so that there's nothing will come through, eh? Which happens on occasion. Don't you know? Now I'll clean up all this stuff. Then I'll put this, like the acetone is not really great stuff. It's really great stuff, but it's pretty damn poisonous. Not great for you. So, rubber gloves are much in order. Ah, the smell of long chain molecules. I'll put this outside. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. Everything is covered over with this metal to metal stuff. So all the welds are covered up, and that'll fill in any pinholes and all that kind of stuff and come out rock hard. Now, then tomorrow I should just get that off of there because I won't be wanting that on there. That'll be just a pile of sanding tomorrow if I don't take it off now. There. Now that stuff there I won't dick with because once you start dicking with it, it gets worse and worse. But the little bits like that. Anyway, I think that's enough today. What's it, 3:30? Oh, early day today. So, we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, there. Put on the first coat of product. Now I got to figure out where those holes are again. I should have been poked through before I finish doing this. There's one right there. I'll find something and poke them through. Yeah, I was just lucky to be able to find them. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. Now, this one here I found was, like you can see it. This one here you can see a little indentation, so I found it. That one I can see a little indentation, I found it. And then I sort of just picked in the middle between that one, and there it was. Yay. So that's starting to look better, like it'll be, you can still see some of the waves, but after I'm done with that, that'll be pretty good. Okay, well, I'll just keep on working. Yeah, while I'm waiting for this to dry, we'll do something a bit of fun. So this BMW 045 is the code, I think, for this color here. But now let's, I've taped off half of this that I painted with the, as Paul says, Smurf color. So let's paint this with, give it a couple of coats of this color here and see how it looks. So I'll just have to, I've gone ahead and, what did I do? I took some 320 paper and just scuffed that up a bit and then cleaned it off with panel prep or Windex in this case. So I'll just get this done in a minute here. Yeah, here I am. Yep. So you have to shake this up for 2 minutes, which I did. And then it just goes on. That's a nice color. That's a nicer color. Now I'll just do up here too. I'll give it about 10 minutes and put another coat on. Yeah, that's 2 coats. 2 coats of it on there. And here's the other color. That color there is quite a bit nicer, eh? So this side over here, that's what the Smurf blue. This side over here is non-Smurf blue. That's pretty nice, that second color. So that's the color that the car was originally, or close to it. That's the code anyhow. But it looks like the same colors here, right? Anyway, that's a pretty nice color. I like that color indeed. So that's what I'll aim for in the future. I can certainly get that color, so what the hell. Okay, there, that's so much for fun. Let's go back to dreary work here. Hey? Yeah, so now I'm just slowly building up. There's a hollow there. There's a hollow there. A little bit of a hollow there. So slowly building it up, and then I'll sand it off and see if I can start getting it flattened out. And I've got my pneumatic sander over there, which is a block sander, so I'll be able to find out where the dips are pretty quick with that. For the most part though, I'll just keep on working at it until I get it right, so it'll look all right when it's done. Yeah, so I took the where is that thing? This thing here. This thing here makes pretty quick work of flattening stuff out. So, and then you can see where the sand came down to here, and you can see where the sand didn't get down to, all these places. So I put pencil marks around. Now I use pencil because if you use a marker, it'll come through the paint later, and that's undesirable. So now I'll just sort of concentrate on those areas that need a bit of fill, and we'll build them up and see if we can get it to flatten out. It's getting pretty close. Like it's feeling reasonably good. So it'll get there. Yeah, so in the meantime, and you know, I talked about cleaning up this side of the garage, hey? So today's the day. I'll clean it up from here back to there. Rearrange a few things. And I ordered a new air compressor. That air compressor that I have over there, I've had it for quite a few years, and it has been, you know, good, but it only does 4.5 cubic feet per bazillion times or whatever it is, and that's not really much good for running air tools constantly. So I ordered one. There was one on sale at Home Depot that I ordered it up, and they're going to deliver it here one of these days whenever it comes, and it's one of those ones that has you know, cylinders on the top and belt driven, and it'll deliver 11.5 cubic feet per minute at 90 psi, and it'll deliver like 14.5 cubic feet per minute at 40 psi. So that's it. You can 40 psi, you could paint forever at that, and 90 psi will run the power tools. Like, I've got lots of nice power tools, that this sander being one of them, but I think that it'll burn out that thing there. The sander's one of them, and then I've got all this kind of stuff. And this one here, like, that's a really nice little tool. That thing, it's an Ingersoll Rand, and it's a great little thing for getting into the tight corners and stuff. So anyway, that's the plan over here. Is I'll finish cleaning that out, and this is where I'll knock stuff over. This is where I'll set the air compressor right up here in this corner, just so that, well, it'll be over here a bit so you can get into that. And then it's an easy run to run electricity to it, because I have to put in another 30 amp breaker and run it out. So anyway, that would be the plan. I'll finish cleaning this up here next time when I'm waiting for stuff to harden, waiting for this stuff here to dry. So put on another roll of it. Yeah, so have a good look there, because a while before you see that. It's clean of debris as it is right now. I just went up to the grinder and stopped there. That'll be another chore up that end of it. Another day. And over there is another day too. Anyway, now I'll put some of this stuff back where I want to put it. Yep, ready to make some dust. Yeah, there, that makes quick work of it. Now, oh, wait a minute. Try that again. I had a bit of a sneeze there. Anyway, that made pretty quick work of all this. So now, this one here is very small now, so I'm getting close to getting that one flattened out. Then this has to be filled up to make it so it's the height for that, because there's a high point here, right? And then have to fill that little bit of a hole. See if I can get that stuff filled in. This is small now, and this is much smaller than it was. This one here is small, this one here is small, so that one more filling might make it so they're high enough to flatten out. So it's getting close, like you can feel it, the bumps, but not nearly as bad as it was when I started. So getting there. Yeah, there's the next batch on there. That's getting to be a little bit thick, but that's the way to make it so it's flat across there. So that'll be how it is. That's enough for today. I'm gonna just let that dry overnight, and then we'll see you back tomorrow. But we did make some progress. Got this going, and then got that cleaned up there. That's nice and tidy there. Now the rest of the place is a little bit of a shambles, but that'll come too. Okay. See you tomorrow. Yeah, here I am back at it. A lot of standing today. I want to take it down as much as I can. See, I've taken it down. I think I can go down a bit more here. Take it down a bit more here and see if that'll level up instead of putting more product on. This thing here I have to get that fixed, right? And right here, and right here. But most of it's getting to be down to fairly level. So I'll work on this top part first, and you can see my pencil line there again. This came out, that's come out nice. A little bit of a dip there, a little bit of a dip here, a little bit of a dip there, and you can see the pencil line here coming out. And you see the pencil line here coming out, so I'm down to that level again. So I'll just keep on working on it. There, now I've splattered a bit of what they call a guide coat on there now, and so now, like, I've covered the whole thing, just, you know, a very light coat, just with black paint, and this stuff here, Rust-Oleum, just a bit of that trim clad, you know, from way up high here, splatter it on, and now I'll sand it off, and that'll show me the low spots for sure. Okay. There, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a batch, and I'm just going to concentrate on everything lower than this line here. See if I can make this flat down here, and that'll give a good line up here, and that'll, so you can see I've pencil lined all the low spots. See if I can just concentrate on this. I won't bother with that up there, because there's a big low spot there, a big low spot there, and they're not very low, they're just a touch low. Big low spot there, a little low spot there. And that black paint really just shows up exactly where it is, right? Okay, I'll get on it. Yeah, I've got that gooped on here. I'll get it sanded off and I'll have a look at it then and see how we're coming along for flatness. Yeah, we're bordering on getting pretty darn close. Like there's low spot, but you can see down the panel we're looking pretty good. This is actually looking really good. Down through here, there's a low spot right. There's some knocks here. Low spot there, low spot here, low spot here. So I'll just go ahead and put another coat of stuff on and take it off again. Yeah, interlude while the stuff is drying. It's in there and dry now. I think I can go after it with the sander. Yeah. Anyhow, this, I didn't have the right size. I had too skinny a wire in this, and so it wasn't working to its optimum self. And now I put the right wire in, and it really does a nice job of that. Better than it did before. And penetration is very good. So I think I'll keep on trying with this stuff. I think I can make it work pretty good. And the one thing I like about it is that that's an awful lot easier grinding than on steel, so you can get that ground down a lot easier. So anyhow, right or wrong, or it works just as well as steel. On the bottom here, it made a really nice seam. That was a solid sort of piece of work there. In here it got into warping business, but not entirely my fault. But anyhow, that's the nature of the beast sometimes. So anyhow, I'll carry on. I'll maybe, like, that was a test run, so maybe I'll do better next time, because I've got lots of sheet metal welding to do. There's lots of it I'll do with steel, which is around the what do we call that stuff, around the shock mounts, which is structural stuff. Do that with steel, but this stuff out here that's not structural, I'll do it with the brass, because you know you have to grind that off to make it look pretty, right? Or try to. I'll have another go at this. That's not going to stay there very long. Hang on. Try that, see how it works. There, I'm getting pretty darn close to pretty darn good. So you watched that from up above here. Like I did it, that I carried on with about another 5 minutes of sanding after that, and this is what I've got down to. So you can see there's the dark green is where it hasn't got the sand down to. So I'll just put a little bit more filler in there. Like it's only a skim, right? And so there's that, and I'm done. Then the pencil mark is coming out here from before, so I'm down to that level where I had pencil before. The same here, pencil mark from before. So I'm down to that level, but it's all smoothed out. So I can go ahead now. I'll fill up these ones here. It's about 4:45, so I'll just fill them in and then come back tomorrow and sand it off, and likely it'll be one more coat after that and we'll be done. But from the wavy mess that it was, it's pretty nice now. I could happily go with that door. Yeah, there, that's that coat on there, and then we'll you can see all the different coats I've put on. Like there's one here, one there, one there, you know, that's as I sand down through them. So you put it on and you take off as much as you put on, so it's not that much on there. Okay, see you tomorrow. Yeah, so here we are again. Pretty sad YouTube channel just doing sanding. We've got to do more than sanding, but sanding's what's happening this week. So I'll do a little bit more, and then, well, see how it works out. Now this Gus came by today and brought that over, not running. So while I'm waiting for stuff to dry, I'm pretty sure it's just not getting a spark for some reason. So we'll figure that out. Figure that out and make it run. Maybe. Yeah, okay, so now down to the little tiny things now. That this one here is reasonably sized. Then there's like a lumpy thing right here. I think it has to be filled across here. So I'll get all that in one sort of thing right across there. Then just a little thing there, a little thing there. This bit here, and a little bit of a lump right there that I'll take after. This bit here, and that's like the bottom is, I think maybe a bit right there. Then I'll do it a guide after I do this coat here. Then I'll do a guide coat again and just see where we are. Yeah, how do you get the goop out of the bottom of one of these, eh? That's like a chip squeezer, a chip container thing. Just squeeze it up and away you go. Anyway, I'll get the rest of that done. Yeah, waiting for paint to dry. Yeah, or body filler to dry. Anyhow, I got this chainsaw in the vise. I pulled out the spark plug, and I've hooked a ground wire to there and that. And then I hooked the ground wire over to the engine head here. So I'll give it a couple of yanks. Got to turn off some lights here, or else you won't see it for sure. Hang on. Over here. See if that's dark enough to see a spark. I think there's a spark there. Maybe I'll turn off this light too. Still too many lights on. Yeah, spark happening there. Can you see it? It's got spark. It smells like... Yeah, I'll give it a couple of pulls and see what happens. Where can I put you? Watch the action up here. Where can I get this to sit? Right here. Can you see that? Oh, it's all covered with dust. Right? I'm on the other side here, pulling away. So no choke. I think it was flooded. No choke and full throttle. Whoa. That's hard on cameras. Anyhow, it started, so I'll take it outside and run it up. Try it out here. Can you see me? Yeah. So, oh, sometimes have to get all contuberated here. that works. Put it back together. Yeah, so putting a bit of a guide coat on. That's a little bit dark there, but just enough to touch it with a bit of paint. Let that dry, and then I'll go over it with the sander and we'll see where we stand. There, now after putting the guide coat on, a little bit of black paint left right here, a little bit of black paint left right here. This is a bit of a high spot right there in the middle. I think that's good up there, a little bit right here. This is covered over by the trim anyhow, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. So I'll put a bit in there. A little bit there, a little bit there. And that'll be, hopefully we're going to be done with it. You can see all my pencil lines coming out again, so I'm down to the same level again. But with the, when the pencil line comes out, then you're down to the same level, but it's been sanded off in here, so that's good. Same in here, like that pencil line is there, but it's not sanded in the middle. Yeah, there, after what feels like 1,000 coats of that stuff, I think we're done. I think it's okay. How does that look? I think it looks all right. That's an awful lot better than it was. You can see here it's about 1/8 of an inch of Bondo, and here more than 1/8 of an inch, about 1/8 of an inch there. And up in here, don't know how much would be in that. Those hollows weren't very deep, but they were hollows. Anyway, that's how it's going to be. I think it'll look all right when we're done. So now I'm going to clean it up, throw a coat of primer on there. I hope if I can find a clean primer, and that'll be good. I'm just going to prime it up to here. I'll tape it off and put some paper over there. Whoops, there's the timer. It says I'm ready to paint the second coat, but I don't think it is quite yet. I put the coat on, first coat on 12 minutes ago. Still a couple of spots. That was from the spray can wasn't spraying very consistently, so I've got a new spray can for the next coat, and hopefully it'll cover it fairly consistently. You can still see underneath where, I don't know if you can see those swirls where the different layers of whatever Bondo are. Anyway, there we go. I'll give this a second coat with the spray bomb, and I'll show you how that works when I get there. Yeah, here we go. I'll give it a bit of a yeah, it was dripping paint. You can see a spot there. But I'll give it another coat, and that'll give it enough to sand down a bit. A little bit, well, it needs a sanding after this. But one more coat, and then I'll call that good. Yeah, so I've got this handle thing, right? And I had the nozzle pointed at the edge here. It was catching and creating a drip there. So make sure the nozzle is pointing right out the middle of that thing, and then it works all right. Yeah, I propped it up a little bit, so on the next pass it'll be easier spraying, like less of an angle. Yeah, there, that's 3 coats on there. You can look down the panel, and it actually is a pretty good panel, pretty smooth. There's a little bump right there, but I think what I'll do before I finalize it, you can see that bump and shine over there. Mostly it looks pretty good. Hey, I think I can be happy with that. The what I'll do is I'll hit it with, like, that's 3 coats of that primer, just Rust-Oleum primer. And I'll hit it with 2 coats of high build primer and then sand it down. And that'll get rid of any of these little wavy things, little imperfections. One right there. But the for the most part, it's pretty darn all right. And then I'll prep this before I do any more painting on it too. But for now, that's one ruined door being not as ruined. It's not perfect. There's quite a bit of Bondo in there, but it came out better than when I started, which was full of rust holes. So we're happy. Anyway, that'll be it for the doors episode. The doors, yeah. The riders on the wind, or riders. Oh, I forget. Anyhow, that'll be riders on the doors, right? Anyway, hope you enjoyed it all, and come on back for more. I'm gonna go back to working on this back end of it here. I've already got started working on the back end of it, so I'll go back to that, and you haven't seen any of that yet. And I'll put this door, I'm going to leave it overnight, and I'll put it in the other shop, and it can live there until such time as we're going to get ready for painting the car. I'm not going to do the other door right away because I've had it with doors for a while. Anyway, see you later. Yeah, it's January 31 today. New snow yesterday, and Doggy and I are on the way to the beach. Maybe about 10 centimeters of snow. Enough that you don't really need snowshoes, but they'd help. I don't have them on here today. Anyway, it's a pretty walk to the beach, but it's cold, cold, cold. I'll check in down there. Yeah, so sun is trying to come through, but it's kind of snowing on it. It looks like there's a pretty good ice cake out there today. Drifted in from somewhere. Let's see it in a minute here. There it is. Looks like it could have come from Newfoundland, that one. And Labrador. Well, there's lots of ice caked up now. That's a good one up there. Open water. The wind's been blowing back and forth. That makes the ice cakes roll up on each other. And there's a bunch over there. Kind of a dull day today. Maybe the sun will come out later. Okay. See you later.